From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Robin Chan with today's voice briefing. It's Friday, August 4th, 2023. From breaking news reporter Noor Rahal. Frequent power outages in Ann Arbor, many lasting for several days, have sparked frustration and talks of a municipal electric utility within the community. Ann Arbor for Public Power, a nonprofit coalition advocating for a 100% renewable and public-owned electric utility in the city, has been calling for a separation from DTE Energy for years. According to the organization, quote, "A municipal utility is a utility service which is owned by a city or a town. In Ann Arbor and most towns, the water and sewer services are municipal utilities. There are over 2,000 municipal electric utilities in the country. In fact, 42 municipal electric utilities already exist in Michigan, in cities like Lansing, Traverse City, and Chelsea." End quote. In response, DTE has said it is well placed to help the city reach its clean energy goals and pointed to its work to improve its infrastructure. It also raised concern with what a city takeover can cost. The latest step in the saga came last week when severe thunderstorms sweeping through southeast Michigan knocked out power for tens of thousands of customers, including many in Ann Arbor who lost their power for days. For more on that and details on how the frequent power outages are affecting local businesses, you can search for Noor Rahal's article, "Frequent Power Outages Have Ann Arbor Residents, Businesses Wanting Change from DTE," on Freep.com.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Kristen Shamus. Corewell Health, Michigan's largest health system, announced this week that it will close Spectrum Health Kelsey Hospital in Lakeview in October. The 61-year-old Kelsey Hospital has about 100 employees and 16 critical access care beds. No job cuts were announced. Rather, Corewell hopes to find positions for Kelsey employees at its other locations. Andrea Leslie, president of the hospital, said the building is outdated and there has been a steady decline in patient volumes and demand. For more than a decade, most of the critically ill patients who have sought care at Kelsey have been transferred to other nearby hospitals that offer higher levels of care. The nearest Corewell Health Hospital is about 20 miles away in Greenville. Corewell opened a new $12 million Lakeview Care Center about 1 mile from Kelsey Hospital in June. To learn more, go to Freep.com.
From environmental reporter Keith Matheny. The U.S. Coast Guard and other responders are working to contain and clean up a diesel fuel leak from a freighter ship on Lake Michigan near Manistee. According to a release from the Coast Guard's 9th District headquarters in Cleveland, the 612-foot bulk carrier, Manitowoc, reported a hull breach on its starboard or right diesel tank at about 2:50 p.m. Wednesday. About 45,000 gallons of diesel fuel is believed to have spilled into Lake Michigan, about 1.5 nautical miles northwest of where the Manistee River enters Lake Michigan. A red slick was observed on the lake of about 1.6 miles long by 200 yards wide, projecting from the northeast of the ship within a few hours of the leak report. The Manitowoc activated its response plan, and the shipping company's diesel fuel spill removal response crews are working to contain the spill. Coast Guard officials say the vessel is no longer leaking diesel fuel. Internal fuel transfers to other tanks lowered the level of diesel in the leaking tank to below the breach location, which has now been plugged. There is no known impact to beaches at this time, but the Coast Guard urges people to stay away from any areas presenting with diesel fuel and to call 231-723-6241 to report any confirmed instances of diesel fuel polluting shorelines. Again, that number is 231-723-6241. For more on the story, you can search for Keith Matheny's article, Coast Guard Responding to Freighter Leaking Diesel Fuel in Lake Michigan near Manistee, on Freep.com. Find more from the Detroit Free Press by visiting Freep.com. That's FREEP.com. Thanks for listening, have a great weekend, and you'll hear more from us Monday.